Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I am doing another book review today for another new release on Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simon. Hopefully I am in frame and in focus. We're just going with it today. I am very tired. It has been dark and cloudy outside for like the last week, which we love because it is autumn, but makes filming kind of hard. But I need to get this out. So this is the Reese's Book Club pick for September, which I think it should have been September House. I really do. I know that that's a bit dark for her book club, but my honest opinion, it should have been that one. So Mother-Daughter Murder Night was released toward the beginning of September, I want to say. Do not fall. And so just a quick summary on what this is. This is going to be a pretty much no spoiler review. I like to give my reviews to where they're about like the first half of the book, and I don't really reveal a whole lot. I will include trigger or content warnings at the end if that's something that you're interested from my opinion. But of course, I don't know what your triggers or content warning preferences would be. So if that is something that's important to you, I suggest looking up somewhere else to see if there's going to be anything else, because I don't know. But so pretty much summary of this book, we've got 3 generations of women. I'll refer to them as the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. So the grandmother is about 50s, 60s. The daughter is around my age, early 30s. And then did I already get that wrong? I think I already got that wrong. Grandmother, 50s, 60s. Mother is around my age in the 30s, early 30s. So guess who I kind of aligned with the most? That one. And then her daughter, who is 15 going on 16 or 16 going on 17. Either way, about that age range. And so the 3 of these women have some family drama between them. The grandmother gets diagnosed with cancer, and she is like a bebopping business LA real estate lady. So that like will not do. But she ends up having to go and live in the boonies with her daughter, the mother, and so that they can like help take care of her through treatment. And it ends up lasting a long time. And basically this woman who is just used to working all the time ends up needing to fill her time, and a murder happens. Shock. And so the daughter, the 15, 16-year-old, she is the one who finds the body. She is immediately a suspect for some reason. And I mean, I guess there's a reason, but I don't agree with it. Anyway, so we'll talk about that more in a minute. So they get initially pulled into this murder investigation through that way, but the grandmother is like, oh great, this is something that I can do, because obviously I work in real estate and I'm great at that, so let me try to tell other people how to do their job too. Obviously I did not like the grandmother that much. So anyway, that's kind of the summary of the novel. I thought it was going to be like the ratio of murder mystery to family drama. I thought it was going to be like 60% murder mystery or more and like 40% family drama or less. Definitely flip that, in my opinion at least. I thought there would be a lot more focus on the murder mystery part, and that the women would work together a lot more. But because of the family drama, which I think was well done, we'll get to that, but like, because there was so much family drama, they were just butting heads so much. So anyway, so we have 3 POVs, technically the grandmother, mother, and daughter. However, the story is really told from the perspective of the grandmother, who I've already said that I didn't really like her character or her character arc. It seemed like in that climax moment, it just shifted, like, immediately. And they tried to, like, go back and say, like, oh yeah, because of this and this and this is why I changed. But it was like, no. At the climax point, there is, I don't like going over the halfway point in my reviews, but at the point of climax, you're going to notice that, like, there is just a change in the air, and it is sudden. A bit jarring for my taste personally. I didn't love it, and for me, character development is really, really huge. I liked the character of the mother, and I really loved the character of the daughter. I wish so much that we could have gotten to know her more, her friends more. I get it that this is kind of a relatively shorter book, but it would have just been valuable in my opinion, because we focus so much on the grandmother, and I get it, it's kind of her story. She is the one who is making everything happen, really, and keeping them involved in this murder investigation. But it's just, I wanted to know, there was so little about the daughter that was shared. Like, we know that she has a friend, but we never actually meet that friend. Like, we hear about the mother talking to the friend on the phone, but the friend never really comes into play. And there was definitely room for that, I think. Maybe it was chopped on the cutting room floor, and left there. I don't know. But yeah, and then the mother character, she was pretty well fleshed out. I of course I related to her the most, especially being 33 weeks pregnant. So if you're noticing I'm out of breath, that's why. But and about to have a little kiddo of my own. So it's just like, I don't know. I wish that we could have gotten more POV from her perspective that was just about her, because there were a lot of times where we would get the other person's POV, like the daughter or the mother, but they'd be talking about the grandmother. Like, it always linked back to her, which I get it. She is inciting the drama and stuff, but at the same time, I was just like, I didn't like the grandmother, so I didn't really, she was very forceful, hardly apologetic at all, like just in everyone's business and kind of rude. I didn't find her endearing at all or inspiring. I think that she was supposed to be like a powerful woman, but I didn't get that from her whatsoever. I just saw her as like a toxic boss, or like the toxic kind of leader that I used to be. Maybe that's why I got triggered. But yeah, I just didn't love it. And oh, my computer with my notes is about to go to sleep. So let me... There we go. Okay. So what I liked. As a family drama, I think it did it really, really well. Even though I wasn't going into this looking for a family drama, once that was what I was in, it was really interesting to see how the drama between the grandmother and the mother, like, then affected the daughter. So how that would translate through generations and impact that third generation of the daughter, and being able to see them, like, kind of the retribution, oh my gosh, the resolution of that drama was very satisfying in the end. So I did appreciate that. I thought it was thoughtfully done, well crafted, and it was fun to see. I did like that. Oh my gosh, okay. I love it when the setting, whether that be like nature or a building, September House, the last book review that I did, is basically a character in the book. and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but the Slough, Slough, which is like the waterway that they live on in this book, is basically like its own character. I loved the nature descriptions. I thought they were really crisp. Obviously very well thought through and very well researched, whether the author had lived in an environment like this herself, or just did a lot of research. It felt like you were there. Like if you didn't know what a sloth was, I didn't. By the end of this book, I feel like I know what that is. I feel like I could describe it to someone else. So not just the water and the land, but the animals that were there as well, and kind of how that affects the people who live on the land and how the people affect the water as well. So as a piece of nature literature, actually, I would feel comfortable classifying it as such. I thought that that was really amazingly done. Probably my favorite part of the book, honestly. And it didn't feel too anthropomorphized, where like, actually it didn't feel like that at all, where they were trying to make like nature into a person. No, they were just experiencing it as is. There was a lot of love and respect for that landscape. And that was by far my favorite part of the book. And then one last thing. Oh yeah, another thing. Just kind of like a tropey thing that I liked about it is everyone is a suspect in this. Minus like, you know, the family member. Well, I guess the family members too are suspects from the detectives' points of view, but and then the detectives aren't suspects, but like everyone else in it's got a very everyone is a suspect kind of vibe. Like not literally, but it just has that vibe where you've got like a bunch of different people of the whodunits. So what I didn't like, I just thought that they would work together more to actually solve the mystery, whereas most of the time the women were butting heads, and that wasn't as satisfying to watch. I wanted this to be more of a murder mystery where they were really relying on each other. And that's kind of the vibe and the feel that I wanted from this. And since there was so much drama, it didn't feel like I got that until a point. And so but the majority of it, they were just like this. And so it just wasn't as enjoyable for me. I'm not saying that that made it a bad book, but it just wasn't as enjoyable for me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So like my least favorite thing about this book is that all of the high stakes or even medium stakes moments, because there were some like medium to low stakes as well, but anytime that the drama and the danger got intensified, it was so forced, like so unbelievably forced. And then it was just over, like, and we're on to the next thing. It didn't feel like there was a proper thread connecting everything that was happening. Like, they found a way to get it back together, but it just, I don't know, a lot of the drama, not the family drama, but like the danger type drama within the murder mystery, it felt so forced. And I was like, where is this coming from? And then the fact that it would be resolved so quickly was also like less than satisfying. Like we would get, and this is where I think pacing was off somewhat in this novel. We would get like really excited for a moment and then drop, and really excited and then drop. And so even though there were some really high tempo times throughout the book, it was actually, and this is like my next point in this, it was actually like hard for me to read. Like it was hard for me to finish it. Like I did have to force myself to finish this book. I was not like finding myself wanting to come back and find out what happened, because everything kept just being resolved so quickly and so neatly. And so I'm just, or like the things that I didn't care about, Like they weren't that much of a stake to where I was like, okay. And then the last thing, I did find the ending a bit predictable. Like some of the mystery elements were a tiny bit predictable, but that's just like something that was okay. I don't think that the twist, if the author would even consider it a twist, I don't think it was twisty enough for me personally. Again, I was kind of texting my husband as everything was going through, or as I was reading through it, and just like, I think this is who did it, and I was pretty sure, like, who did it, because I don't know, it's to me, I feel like that's a personal thing for everybody when they read a different book. Like some people are going to pick up on different things, and for me, I kind of picked up on this one, and it was enough to the point where I was like, okay. And then, so just to kind of like wrap this whole summary review up, I give it a like solid 2.5, round up to 3 for Goodreads out of 5 score. Just it was like a solidly okay book. Do I regret buying it? A little bit. I'm happy I was able to get this review out early, and there was absolutely no way that I'd be able to pick this up from the library for like another year. And I did really, really want to read it because the concept of the book pulled me in. But I mean, was it no novel? So the front blurb, no novel has ever made family drama or murder this much fun. Was it fun? No, I don't think so. The drama wasn't fun. The, like, I don't know. I wouldn't describe this as a fun book. I thought it was going to be a lot more quirky and quippy and like humorous, and it really wasn't to me. There were so many characters. I actually forgot to mention this. There were so many characters that were just like unlikable, like especially the side characters, or one-sided, to where I don't know, there wasn't really anyone in this book that I would say that they were like a fun character or even a comedic relief or something like that. So I was expecting a lot more fun out of this book, especially after just reading September House, which was very sarcastic and had some like dark comedy, but comedy nonetheless. Like I thought that this would have more dark comedy, but it really didn't. So I went into it expecting fun, and I came out and I was like, that's a good book, but it really wasn't what I was looking for. Anyway, do I have any other notes? Oh yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it for my review. I'll go ahead and go into content warnings. So if that's something that you're interested, cool. If not, my next book review, I have 100 pages left of it. It's Lauren Groff's The Vaster Wilds, which is also a new September release that I was lucky to find, actually, on the shelf at my local library. Did not expect that. Really wanted to read it because it is a nature-centric focused literary fiction, so it's going to be very different from what I just read, but we still have those strong nature elements. Yeah, this is also another, it's just like, real quick, this is also another one. I expected one thing going into it, and I'm getting another thing going out of it. Not fun, but a good book. Anyway, so content warnings. So content warnings for mother-daughter murder night. There's murder. People die. There is more violence. So kind of the obvious one. As I mentioned, talks of cancer and cancer treatment. There's some light discussion on racism, but it is not fleshed out, like, at all. Like, it is mentioned, and as someone who can kind of relate to the mother's perspective in a different way, in a different aspect, I'm not going to go too much into my own life, but like can relate to that a little bit more. I got it, so I didn't really need her to flesh it out because I got it, but at the same time, it was like, you should, if you're gonna bring this up into the book, like, maybe you should actually, I don't know. They had it in there, It's there. It's not so bad, but I mean, it's mentioned. Anyway. And then just some very harsh treatment of the daughter from the older male detective. Like as PG-13 as this book was, I honestly thought that portion was just way over the top. Like, it did not need to be like that. His character, all in all, is just like a walking content warning, like, or trigger warning. He is just the absolute worst. And you're supposed to hate him, obviously, but he is just terrible, and everything he says is terrible, and he has no other side. He is, when I said one-sided, like, side characters, like, he is the first thing I just think of. He has no personality besides abusive. But anyway, so that is Reese's Book Club, September Mother-Daughter Murder Night. Maybe it speaks to you. I am interested to see what else this author, Nina Simon, comes out with, but I would probably not buy new again. I would probably wait and just pick it up from my library. But, I mean, I liked the writing. Writing was good. Yep. And that is it. I hope that you have a most wonderful day, night, weekend, and please let me know what you're reading. Let me know how you like Reese's Book Club, and if you've read any other books from her book club. I've only read one other one, and I bet you can't guess what it is unless you've seen my other videos where I mention it. I think I mentioned it once. I should have done a book review on that one because it is the most underrated book from her book club, I think. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you're reading. Let me know if you read this book, and if you agree, disagree. Super excited to chat in the comments. Yeah. Alrighty, have a great day.